Hello everyone, I hope and pray that you're doing well. I was thinking earlier today a bit about hospitality, and it made me think about this quote by Andrew Glasgow. Some folks make you feel at home, others make you wish you were. And so it made me think also about how one year when I was a Bible teacher, I gave this assignment to my grade 11 students to visit a church of a denomination not their own. And so Baptist students visited Pentecostal churches, and Christian Reformed students visited Lutheran churches, and Evangelical Free Church students, went to Mennonite churches, etc. Anyways, in the follow-up assignment, students wrote about their experience, and some were impressed with the variety of experiences they had. Some were struck by the differences in architecture, or in clothing, or in the vehicles that parishioners drove to church in. Others noticed, these theological differences, in baptism or spiritual gifts, etc. But the one thing that every student experienced, they noticed, was being a stranger and receiving hospitality, feeling welcome or unwelcome as a visitor. Some talked about how they felt ignored, like nobody noticed, or how they were maybe a bit of an inconvenience. Some experienced, they were overwhelmed by the hospitality, and such that they felt like they were the church's only visitors in the last year. Some felt simply welcomed, like people were glad to see them and would love to see them again. And all this to say that sometimes we think of hospitality as maybe it's an industry, or it's catering to the needs of a guest, or hospitality is keeping a Martha Stewart-like home. But I really like the definition that Henry Nouwen has for hospitality. He talks about hospitality as being as creating a free space where the stranger can enter and feel welcome. Hospitality is creating space for others. Our mission statement invites us, calls us to embrace all. And it helps to consider, first of all, what God has done for us. Right? We have experienced the hospitality of God. Right? We were once strangers, but God delivered us and brought us into a space that He created for us. In our sin, we were distanced. We were alienated from God. We were so far from God that, it's like we were aliens from another planet. But God showed His enfolding hospitality to us. God demonstrated His love for us like the father of the prodigal son, right? By giving us space and a welcome, calling us to be home, giving us space to come home. I mean, that's hospitality. We read in Hebrews 13, verse 2, always a very interesting verse, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by doing so, some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." And so us, as Christians, having experienced God's rich hospitality, we are in turn hospitable, creating space for others. I mean, I think we all know the warm feeling when somebody makes you feel at home, right? That's what we're called to do. Make people feel at home. Give them space to do so. At church, certainly. In our homes, for sure. Make people feel at home, right? On social media, too, though. At the store, in lineups, right? At work, in our sports and recreation, in all these places to help people feel at home, to show hospitality, to extend the hospitality that God has shown to us. And so may the hospitality and the peace of Christ be with you all.